guys, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new around here, thanks for stopping by, and if you're a returning subscriber, thanks for coming back to watch another video. It is great to have you here with me again today. So as you can tell from the title of today's video, guys, we are celebrating 2 years since I started my YouTube channel. Like, can you actually believe it? I know I definitely cannot. Like, yeah, it's crazy to think that it's been 2 years since I started this journey, documenting my financial freedom journey on my YouTube channel. It's been quite a journey, to say the least. Like, I've learned so much over the last 2 years, both about YouTube and about myself, and to be honest, I'm just proud of me for committing to it for so long and not quitting and not giving up on this channel, because yeah, it's literally like my baby. Like, I've just enjoyed watching it grow, like giving birth to it and then watching it grow over the past couple of years by nurturing it and investing in it. Just sharing my journey with you guys has literally helped me so much, and I know it's helped many of you from the feedback that I received in the comments and in my DMs over on Instagram. So I know that it's been a win-win situation, and my mission has definitely been accomplished for starting this channel in terms of inspiring and helping other people on their financial journeys, but equally keeping myself accountable to the financial goals in which I have set myself. Because once I got out of debt, I knew it would be very easy to get back into debt again if I didn't have that accountability and kind of stayed focused on the financial goals in which I was now pursuing, which at the time when I started this channel was to be mortgage free within a few years. However, I've since changed course, and yes, I still do want to be mortgage free. However, I've now started focusing heavily on investing too. I haven't talked about investing much on my channel since starting it. However, moving into year 3 is definitely something I'm going to be sharing a lot more of in the new year. So if you're not yet subscribed, now's the time to subscribe, because that content is coming to you in 2022, God willing. But yeah, with that being said, I thought what would be a good way to kind of celebrate 2 years of my channel, and yeah, I just thought it would be a good time to do a Q&A, because I haven't done one of these in so long. So I did a post on my Instagram stories and also on my community tab here on YouTube, actually kind of asking you guys to submit any questions that you want me to answer. And I know also where I shared the behind the scenes footage from my time on bidding wars, I said if you guys want me to do a Q&A, let me know and I'll answer any of those questions for you too. And I did, I think, have a couple of questions come through about bidding wars, which I'll basically talk about in this video. In case you don't know, it is a TV show in which I took part in a few months ago, and it's just recently aired, and it was an amazing opportunity. In the description box below, I'll include a link to the behind the scenes footage and also to the series, so that you can kind of catch up on those episodes if you haven't yet watched them. But yeah, back to today's video. What I'm going to be doing is a Q&A and kind of sharing the answers to the questions you guys asked me. If you have any comments or questions about any of the answers that I've given, then definitely leave them in the comment section below and I'll answer them. Or if you don't want to put it on the public forum, you can of course DM me over on Instagram, and I will definitely reply to any of those DMs in which I received. But without further ado, let me jump into those questions for you now. The question I've got is, how do you stay motivated to keep going when the numbers are low? Just starting my channel, and oh boy, the temptation to quit right now is there. Listen, oh my days, I can so relate to this question, particularly right now in the season I'm in with my YouTube channel, because I feel like it's stopped growing and it's kind of doing the opposite to what it was doing a few months ago. So it feels like the channel's on a steady decline, which is not encouraging and not motivating and does not make me want to continue posting content. However, I think what keeps me motivated to keep going is the fact that I want to do this and I really enjoy creating content and putting my content out there. In case you haven't noticed, I love to talk, so the thought that I can kind of share my thoughts and feelings about things and kind of share my journey, and people can just watch it on the internet. To me, I just really enjoy doing that and being able to be creative as well with my videos. Again, I enjoy doing that. Like, starting a YouTube channel is something that had been on my bucket list for... Listen, if you go back to my channel, actually, you can see when it was created. My channel was created in 2011. So that's how far back I actually wanted to start recording on YouTube. And back then I wanted to do like a natural hair channel, and yeah, that was what I was going to do. But at the time I thought there was too many people already doing it. Little did I know there was going to be many, many more over the years to come. But back then I thought I was late to the party in terms of starting the YouTube channel, so I never did it back then. So fast forward all these years, I've finally done it. And for me, it's like something that I'm really passionate about. I've started doing it and I'm going to keep doing it to just continue to watch it grow. It's just like a child, I guess. Like I mentioned earlier, I see my channel as like my baby. In the same way, I wouldn't just abandon my child because it's not doing what I want it to do. I wouldn't do that to my channel either. Like, I just have to keep nurturing it and keep investing in it, and over time it will continue to grow. I think the main thing is being clear on why you're doing it and just staying committed to your goal. I think, yeah, if your motives and your intentions behind doing it are from a genuine place and you're just genuinely doing it for the love of creating content and wanting to serve, then it shouldn't really matter if one person is watching it it or 100 people are watching it, mission is still being accomplished. I think the perspective you have, how you view your channel and your motivation for starting it, all of those things I think kind of contribute to kind of staying motivated when it comes to producing content. So, okay, so the next question is, do you get negative mean comments, and if you do, how do you handle them? Do you know what, yeah, touch wood, I don't really get any negative or mean comments. I remember when I did this show, Bidding Wars, that was something I was so nervous about, especially because you go through all these psychological assessments beforehand and they kind of prepare you for the worst case scenario. Like, you could get trolled, you can get people giving you a lot of backlash, you could get lots of negative feedback, etc. So they really build you up and kind of prepare you for the worst thing to happen. So I remember in the weeks leading up to the show going live being quite anxious, thinking, oh my gosh, I'm about to start getting dragged on the internet. But yeah, lo and behold, it was not even that deep. Like, the show's come and gone, and yeah, I haven't had any negative comments yet. I think the only thing I would say actually is on Instagram, yeah. Whenever I do something on my stories, like I do a question, and the question is something like, I don't know, should I post a video tomorrow? And 98% of people say yes. And then there's this one person that always says no to anything positive that I'm doing. It's so weird. But I'm like, why are you following my page? If you don't want to see anything I'm doing, it's so weird. But I don't get any negative feedback per se, but something like that just makes me think, like, why? Just why? Seriously? Do you just do that so that there's like a variety in the answers or something? I don't know, but I find that quite hilarious. But generally speaking, negative feedback, I haven't really received any. I've had maybe an odd person like not agree with my point of view on things, which is totally fine. You can't expect everybody to agree with you all the time. But generally speaking, I haven't actually had no real negative comments. I don't know how I'm going to handle it when I do eventually get trolled, because I guess the bigger your channel becomes, it's kind of almost inevitable, unfortunately. Like, you're gonna get all of that bad publicity and that backlash. So I'll let you know how it goes when that time eventually does come. But for now, yeah, I don't really get any of it. The worst thing that happened when I first started my channel, I think after about video maybe 4 or 5, I got my first thumbs down, and for me that was like the end of the world. I could not believe someone disliked my video, and the video at the time was like my debt story, I think it was. So I was thinking, what about my story is offending you that much that you're giving me a thumbs down? Like, it just didn't make any sense to me. But it is what it is. Like, you can't please everybody all the time, and unfortunately some people that don't agree with you are going to make it very clear that they don't agree with you and are going to do their best to kind of bring you down. You just kind of have to accept that that is part of what you get from putting yourself in the public domain. Like, you're putting yourself open to the court of public opinion, and yeah, you just kind of have to be able to deal with whatever good or bad comes from that. What is your favourite side hustle? Oh gosh, oh, that's a good question. My favourite side hustle, I'd say, is my YouTube channel. Not the most lucrative, but I do enjoy actually having a channel, and I guess this kind of is the catalyst for many of the other side hustles that I have. So because of my YouTube channel, I've been able to do brand partnerships, I've been able to get speaking engagements, so it kind of all works together, if that makes sense. So I guess all of my social media content creation type thing is what I enjoy doing. I also enjoy speaking, as you can tell, I've mentioned it like twice now in the video, that I love to talk. But yeah, all my side hustles, I'd say I enjoy them all, but I guess of them all, I think the thing I enjoy the most, oh, my blog as well, of course. I enjoy writing. So I guess to kind of sum it all up, I just enjoy being creative. I guess the best part of my side hustle is being able to be creative, like have things in my head, bring it to life and get paid to do that. I think that in itself is just amazing. And yeah, to be able to do that full time is actually #goals. But yeah, for now, we'll be doing that on the side of our day job and see how things grow from there. Next question is, what was your favorite book this year? Oh gosh, so as you may or may not know, 2021 I've been doing like a reading challenge, so trying to read 21 books in a year. I'm going to be doing a video soon where I kind of recap and share highlights of all of the books that I've read, like the best bits or the key takeaway that I've taken from each book, because literally all those books I took something away from, so it'll be good to kind of summarize that all into one video. But I think if I'm going to be, I don't know, if I'm going to say my best books out of all the ones I've read this year, I'd say Atomic Habits is definitely a big favourite. Like, love that book. To be honest, it's not the first time I've read it. I've read it like 3 times now, but I just need to apply all the stuff that I read there, because it's one thing reading it, it's another thing actually applying what you've read and learned. I think the 12-week year was absolutely phenomenal too. Loved that book. What other book did I enjoy this year? The Psychology of Money, absolutely great book as well. So those 3 I'd say probably are my top 3 so far this year. But of the books I've read, I'm on book 20 of 21 at the moment, and so far I've loved them all and I've taken something away from each of them. What I'll do actually is link my reading list in the description box below, so you can kind of see all the books I've read this year, all the books I read in 2020, and then eventually I'm going to update that list with my books for 2022. So on a side note, actually, if you have any books that you want to recommend that add to my reading list for 2022, leave it in the comment section below and I can add that to the roster for the new year. So the next question I've got is, what's the best piece of advice you can give to a person just starting their financial journey? Or best piece of advice to a person starting their financial journey? That's a good question. I would say create a budget. Definitely, if you haven't created a budget, I think that would be a great place to start. Look at where all your money's been going over the past few months and kind of take stock on where your expenses have been, and then kind of use that to plan for your money moving forward. So now you know you've been spending £500–600 on groceries every single month. Is that what you want to continue to do? If not, what can you do to kind of reduce that? So I think really creating a spending plan for your money and kind of getting clear on your current financial position is a great place to start. I think even before creating a budget, actually get clear on your financial goals. Like, where are you now and where do you want to get to and how are you going to get there? I think those will be the steps to take. So kind of look at your current financial situation. Do you owe anybody money? If you do, who do you owe money to? How much do you owe them? How are you going to start paying them back? Look at where you want to get to. Do you want to be debt free in a year, 2 years, 5 years, 10 years? And how are you going to get there? Now that's where the budget comes into play. Create that spending plan, create that plan of action so that you know exactly how you're going to get to that financial goal within the time frame in which you have specified. So I guess, yeah, that's the advice I'd give to anybody getting started on your financial journey. I think it's amazing if you are in that position and you're saying, yes, as I'm quickly approaching the new year, I want to get my finances in order, I want to start creating a plan for my money. Now's the time to do it. So the next question is not a question. So it says, this is not a question, just proud of how far you've come. I've learned a lot from you. Now, thank you so much. That literally means a lot. Like, love feedback like that. And, you know, thank you. Like, seriously, that's made me smile. Because, yeah, it's been quite a journey and we're still moving along that journey. But it's great to know that people can see that you're trying and people can see your progress and see your growth, and I can see my own growth even if you can't see it, to be fair, because when I look back on my videos a year ago and now, I can definitely see that yes, Tolly, you're growing, you're coming into your own. And I know this time next year, God willing, I'm going to look back on this year's videos and be like, oh my gosh, Tolly, you've come a long way. And that's how this journey goes. It's like, it's a continual learning process and it's a continual growth process, and none of us are the finished article yet. However, it's important to kind of commit to that continual growth consistently, and over time it does start to compound and you start to realize that actually these little baby steps I've been taking day by day is adding up to something great. So yeah, be encouraged wherever you are in your journey. Know that if you commit to it and you kind of stay focused, you too can kind of grow and I guess reach your destination, whatever that may be that you're pursuing and you're trying to get to. So the next question is about bidding wars, and it says, did you pay for the expenses like hotels and stuff? The answer to that question is no, we didn't actually have to pay for those kind of things. That was actually all included. So accommodation, food, travel, etc. that is covered by the production company. I don't know if I'm allowed to actually say that. Hopefully I don't get in trouble. But yeah, we didn't actually have to pay for those expenses. That would have been a lot for me because I live in London and I travelled up north very far to go and shoot this show. So yeah, no, we don't have to pay those expenses. Next question is, how did you get started and what equipment do you have? In terms of my YouTube channel, I started with my camera. So I actually have a Canon EOS 750D. So it actually says the name of the camera on the camera, so I was just reading it. But yeah, that's the camera I currently use. And I didn't actually get this camera specifically for my YouTube channel. My husband bought this for me for my birthday many years ago when I actually had another business and I needed a camera to take pictures of the products in which I was selling back then. So that's kind of why I already had a professional type camera. So that's the camera I've been using. I mean, I've had this camera now for over 5 years and it's still doing the job, and I don't plan to change it anytime soon. But in all honesty, smartphones these days are good enough for you to get started with, so you don't need to invest in no expensive fancy equipment to get started. You can literally just start with your smartphone and natural light from the window and you're good to go. So expenses wise, it's like literally zero barriers to entry, because as long as you're watching this video, you have some kind of recording device, most probably. So you can kind of get started with what you have and kind of grow from there. I think a lot of times we make excuses for why we don't get started. So it's like, okay, once I get the right camera, once I get all the equipment, once I get this, once I get that, then I'll get started. But yeah, you don't need all of that to start. Just start where you are with what you have, and then you can kind of grow and upgrade your equipment as time goes on. when you decide that you actually still want to do it, then you can invest and put more money into it. Because I think there's no point kind of putting all this money down up front and then you record 1 or 2 videos, you get 2 views, and then you get demotivated and don't continue, and you spend all this money on all this equipment. Just record with your phone, get started, upload it, and then kind of see if this is something you want to continue to do. Commit to it for maybe 10, 20, 50 videos, and then start upgrading your equipment. How long would you like to do YouTube for is the next question. Oh my gosh. That's actually a good question. For now, I don't see myself quitting my YouTube channel anytime soon. It's something I would love to do, at least as I go on this financial journey. Maybe when I'm making millions of pounds, then I'll be like, okay, I don't need to be on YouTube no more. I don't want to be on YouTube no more, because, you know, you get haters and all the rest of it. Maybe when I get to that stage, then I'll step away from YouTube so I can be more private and people don't know my financial situation too tough. But I think for now, as I'm on the journey and I'm grinding and I'm growing, I think I definitely want to keep sharing that, because it's good to kind of see people that are in realistic positions. It then feels a bit more obtainable, because I think when you see people as the finished article and you see them at the end, it's like, oh yeah, I'm making £1 million, come and buy my course and then you can make £1 million too. It's like, really? It doesn't seem authentic. I'm not listening to you and your Lamborghini, okay? However, if you just see somebody like kind of genuinely sharing their journey and growing, I feel like it's more relatable, and yeah, I enjoy that kind of content anyway. God willing, at least for the next 5 years, I will definitely still be on YouTube sharing content. How much of a sacrifice has it taken to get your channel to where it is in terms of hours spent on a video, etc.? Listen, oh my gosh, YouTube is a lot. Like, you cannot be on YouTube if you're not serious. Like, if you're not serious and you don't genuinely have a passion for it, it's not something to get into, because you will quit. You will literally quit if you're in it for the wrong reasons and you're motivated by money, because the money does not come straight away at all. Like, at least not for me anyway. It definitely hasn't come for me. If you watch my income reports, you'll know that the money doesn't come quick like that. However, I enjoy creating the content, and I have a bigger mission and a bigger purpose behind having my channel in the first place. So it's not just for making money, it's for me sharing my journey, it's for me helping other people on their financial journey. So it's bigger than the money. I think if you're motivated by money, it's going to be very easy for you to quit and not follow through. On average, I'm spending at least 3 to 4 to 5 hours on a video. If you include research time, that can take you up to 7 or 8 hours for one video alone. So yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot of time and commitment and dedication. But like I said, you have to have the passion for it. If you don't have the passion for it, don't get started, because you're gonna quit. How important / relevant is it to get your family on board when starting a YouTube channel? I think, yeah, depending on what your current family dynamics is. Like, I don't know, for me, I'm married, I have children. It was very important for me to kind of get the buy-in of my husband, because I knew that I'm going to spend a lot of time on YouTube. I'm going to need his support in order to kind of be able to create my content and also raise the family. So if he wasn't in support of what I was doing, it would have been very hard for me to come as far as I've been able to come, and for me to commit to it and invest so much time into it. So you definitely need to get that buy-in. Having said that though, when I initially said I was going to do YouTube, my husband was like, really, are you sure you want to do that? He wasn't too keen on the idea, but he still supported me doing it. And yeah, fast forward 2 years later, here we are going strong. And now if you see, he's kind of featuring here and there in some of my videos. So from him not really being that on it to now wanting to be on the videos himself, you see, this is what happens. But yeah, I think it is really important to kind of get that buy-in and support from family if you have family around you, because yeah, YouTube is not for the faint-hearted. What's the most difficult and the easiest thing about starting a YouTube channel? Starting a YouTube channel is the easy part. Like, creating your first video, uploading it and seeing the views come in, sharing it with your friends and family, all of that is the easy part, because everybody's on board when you first start. Like, everybody wants to support you, everybody wants to show their love and support when you upload your first video. So you're going to get loads of views on that video. It's when you get to like the 3rd or 4th video where your family are not interested in what you're doing anymore, that's when it gets hard, because yeah, then you have to find your audience yourself, because your family is not your audience. Your family are just supporting you because they're your family and they love you. But yeah, they're not interested in your content like that, so they're not going to keep watching your videos forever. They're only going to watch it for a little while and then kind of fall off. And I think that is kind of hard, because if you've got like 500 views on your first video, you upload your second one and you're down to 20 views, the motivation to now go and upload the 3rd and 4th and 5th is not going to be there. Let's be honest. It's harder to now garner that self-motivation, because at the beginning, when something's new, you're kind of riding on that excitement and that newness of it all, and then when that kind of fades and subsides, then you have to find that self-motivation, and that is the challenging part. It's that motivating yourself when nobody's there to motivate you, or nobody's there cheering you on, or your videos are not getting watched, or you're not getting the engagement that you feel that the quality of your video deserves, or the time in which you've invested into that video is not reflected in the output. All of that is hard to kind of navigate and overcome, but you need to find that motivation within to kind of say, no, I'm going to keep doing this consistently, irrespective of what the end result is, or irrespective of where I think I am versus where I should be. So I feel like that is probably the most challenging part of it. But yeah, in short, the easiest thing about starting the channel is starting the channel. The hardest thing is continuing going when the numbers are not reflecting the effort that you put into that channel. Looking back, in what area would you say you've grown the most as a result of creating financial content? Oh my gosh, I've grown in so many areas. Like, I've grown confidence in terms of speaking, and not even just speaking on these YouTube videos, because that kind of gets easier quite quickly because it's just me, one, and my camera talking. But just by doing these videos regularly and creating content, and then now doing my lives over on Instagram and doing speaking engagements, it's made me so much more a confident speaker. Speaking publicly is something that I would have never done previously. Like, literally, ask anybody that knows me in real life. Tolly does not like speaking in public. As much as I'm a chatterbox and I like speaking to people like one-on-one, put me on a stage and tell me to speak to people, that's a whole nother conversation, and that's a bigger challenge. Whereas since I've been doing these lives, like I said, and creating content online, etc., and putting myself out there more, it's made me so much more of a confident speaker, and it's given me the opportunity to say yes to opportunities that I would have previously definitely never said yes to, because yeah, I had that fear of speaking in public, that fear of people's judgment, that fear of what people may say, what people may think, how people may perceive me. All of those kind of things used to kind of stop me from stepping out and kind of doing what I want to do. Having this YouTube channel has definitely given me that confidence to kind of just go for it, because what is the worst that can happen? The worst that you imagine never usually manifests itself anyway. It's always better than what you think it's going to be, and that's what I've been learning. And the more I do things that are out of my comfort zone, the more confirmation I have that I can actually do these things that I thought I previously couldn't. Any plans for more collaborations with other YouTubers? Absolutely, yeah, definitely. In the new year, it's something I want to do a lot more of. This year I did a lot of collaborations over on Instagram. I wouldn't even say collaborations, but I had a lot of guests on my Instagram live series, T Money Talks. If you haven't seen that series, I'll link it in the description box below, because I've had some phenomenal guests on over the last couple of years on that show. But I think in the new year, I want to bring more people onto my YouTube channel and do those live conversations there. So kind of switch up the format a little bit and have those dialogues with other finance content creators, but not just finance content creators, other people that are moving and shaking in their separate arenas, particularly mums, actually. Mums, young mums, millennial mums like myself, on their different financial journeys, kind of winning in their own rights, like coming on and giving them that platform to kind of share what they're doing, what's working for them, what's working for their family, etc. Like, yeah, getting inspiration and encouragement and motivation from other people's stories is something I really want to bring light to on my platform in the new year. So in answer to your question, collaborations, absolutely, I'll be doing a lot more of that in 2022. So if you are a finance content creator or a millennial mum wanting to share one aspect of your own personal journey on my platform, definitely get in touch and we can have that conversation in the new year. So yeah, those were all the questions. Thank you so much to everybody that has submitted a question. I actually really enjoyed recording this video. As you know, I like to talk, so that was just really fun kind of hearing your questions. And if you have any more questions that I didn't answer, leave them in the comment section below and I'll definitely get back to you. Or like I said, DM me over on Instagram and I'll reply to your DM with an answer to your question. And yeah, that's literally it for today's video. If you made it this far in the video and you haven't given it a thumbs up, do me a favor and give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel if you're not yet subscribed. Share this video with a friend or family member and I will see you soon for another video. Thanks for watching. Bye.